Born beneath the rotten floorboards of an old house in West Kingston, one of four siblings, clinging to a mother who herself barely a ghost. At 3 months, Brownie faced a choice that most never have to make: stay in the shadow and starve, or risk the jagged teeth of the Kingston streets for a chance at life. He chose the streets. His first sanctuary was Carnation Market. He spent 2 years there, a small brown shadow weaving between towering stacks of yam, clattering handcarts of the higglers. He learned to time his movement to the scents of crushed scallion and the discarded scraps of saltfish, dodging the occasional broom or boot. But the market is a fickle mother. As new, younger dogs moved in, the territory grew bloodier. Brownie drifted. He found a rhythm in the night at Papine, where the pan-chicken man became his silent benefactor. He would wait by the roadside with ears perked at the sound of the cleaver hitting the wooden block, catching the spice. Pimento heavy scrap tossed his way through the thick jerk smoke. Seasons bled into years. Brownie's paws grew callous, and his coat grew dusty as he navigated the treacherous, truck heavy asphalt of Spanish Town Road and the neon lit chaos of Crossroads. He didn't move because he wanted to. He moved because survival is a moving target. Eventually, he found a community off Maxgill Avenue. For a while, he was more than a ghost. He was a presence. The local knew his face, and he knew which gates were safe. But in Kingston, peace is a borrowed thing. When a younger, vicious foe entered the neighborhood, a dog bred for the fight and looking for blood, Brownie was forced to flee, the only home he would ever known. He was pushed back to the edges, hunting for scraps in the same gutters where he played as a pup, a veteran of war that never ends. The rain in Kingston doesn't fall, it pounds, turning the gullies into roaring rivers and the streets into mirrors of grey light. Brownie now, grey, muzzled, stiff in his hind legs, huddled under a rusted zinc near the edge of the market. His stomach didn't roar anymore, it was dull. Constant ache he had accepted as part of his skin. He heard the low growl before he saw the eyes. It was a foe from Maxfield, a muscular, scarred brute that tracked the scent of weakness down to the downtown alleys. There was no loyalty on these streets, and there was no room for two kings in one gutter. Brownie stood, his legs trembled, but his eyes stayed fixed. He wasn't a fighter by nature, but he was a master of endurance. As the younger dog lounged, a flash of teeth and fury in the rain, Brownie didn't run. He moved with calculated grace of a dog that had survived Spanish Town road traffic and the dog catchers of the past decade. He snapped back, catching the brute air, a sharp reminder that old age in the streets is a badge of lethality. The scuffle was short and ugly. The younger dog, surprised by the old warrior's bite, backed off into the shadows of the market stall, realizing this meal would cost too much blood. Brownie didn't bark in victory. He simply sat back as the rain began to ease. An hour later, as the first light of dawn touched the clock tower, The pan-chicken man from his youth, now older and grey himself, pulled up his cart to start the morning prep. He looked over and saw the tattered brown dog shivering by the zinc. Still here, Brownie? The man murmured, tossing a warm, unseasoned piece of chicken skin towards him. Brownie ate slowly. He was tired, deeper than his bones. But as the city began to wake up around him, he rested his head on his own paws. He had lost his siblings, his home, and his youth, but he had kept the only thing that mattered in Kingston. He had kept his life. And for a street dog, that was a happy ending enough.